all sparks.
All right, let's do this.
I'm a bit loud, I'm a bit staticky, there's some crazy soundage going on. I'm doing the best I can. I'm in Tempe, Arizona right now. Johnny Million is with me. He's at the not quite home studio in Chicago, and in his living room. You can hear me, Johnny Million? You were good?
Super quiet. Now there's like a crazy, like not quite connected.
Oh yeah, it's been a little choppy. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. We'll find out over the course of the show. I'm just excited for the potential craziness. And I do hear you, so it should be okay. We'll hope. We think, maybe. And now I'm all quiet. It's so funny today. You know, I think it's Arizona Gremlins. I really.
We're on the air, Hal.
And do you hear me, Chicago? And do you hear me?
Yeah, they can't hear you.
Yeah, you dropped the yes bomb.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I did? I didn't think I did.
Yeah, I caught it, but you're good.
Oh, excellent. I didn't realize. Hi, everybody. We're on the air. That's wonderful. I'm trying to get my audio gremlins straightened out with Johnny Million as we roll. Because, like I said, I'm in Tempe, Arizona. I'm doing the Tempe Improv tonight and tomorrow. Had 2 shows last night. They were fantastic. They were an adventure. They were a great time. Don't worry about it. We'll get you up and running. Don't worry about not. I can see the squirreliness in your face. I will make it happen. Don't worry. It's all good. And, you know, this is, if I may say so, cinema territory. There is a lot about this place that, you know, when you're thinking about why Kristen Sinema might do something, might not do something, might not, she, you know, votes the way she does or doesn't vote the way she doesn't or what have you. You come to Arizona, it suddenly all makes sense. I rolled into town to do some stand-up. The biggest story here in the Phoenix general area was the fact that Slipknot had to stop playing because their audience got so out of control and created such a large bonfire that it endangered everyone. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, it was. I mean, and if Slipknot has to stop playing because of their audience, like if they can't continue, it's not like continue. Wait a minute, what are you guys doing? This is a Gaga concert. Calm down. Right. This is Slipknot has a certain level of expectation about these kind of shows. They're ready for the party. And the party. If that's what's happening, and by the way, no one's wearing masks. Nobody. Just nobody. It is both beautiful and strange. It's they got a pretty good number of
Anywhere in Arizona?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I walk around wearing my mask out in through the lobby of my hotel, up to my room, out through there. I do it. Oh, thank you, Hal Vickery, for the super chats. Bless you. Super chats. Morning. And like nobody else does. Like it's clearly a distinction. It is a personality distinction that is happening in this place. And maybe it's I feel like there's sort of a similar feeling in parts of Texas and maybe Florida, Southern California, certainly Irvine, areas like that, where the principled idea is that you side in your normal life 60% of the time compared to most other people. If you're in the Northeast, you're in Chicago, something like that, you'll end up at a place where you're probably spending 80% of your time indoors, especially as it cools off, right? And this is the time of the year when places like Arizona finally get temperate, finally go outside without your pets bursting into flames. So
right, yeah, this is their I get to be outside time.
That's right. So and they hit it, right? They've been breathing, ice cold air through a ventilating machine, like this entire time. They've been on their own version of HVAC ventilators their entire life, just as they've terraformed the planet in a place no one should really have a city. And now it's time to go outside. And pretend it's like this all year long. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, everybody. So I get it. I get how they are, taking your mask off when you walk through a short area to the restaurant where you sit down, or put your mask on while you're asking for a table, and then taking it off to sit down and eat, and then putting it back on when you go to the bathroom, and then coming back from the bathroom. It seems counterintuitive to a lot of people. So they just have decided they're kind of over it. That's, you know, and it's abundantly clear. And I think as a country, where we're at with vaccinations, let's go Brandon, we've gotten to a level where increasingly your chances of getting infected or getting in serious trouble when you get plummeting currently. Not just with the vaccinations, not just with some level of herd immunity and additional protection because of the vaccine, because like if you've had it and you get vaccinated, you are 5 times less likely to spread the disease if you get it again. Sorry, beg your pardon. You are 5 times less likely to get it again. You are 10 times less likely to spread it. But you know, if
Never tell me the odds.
right. This is madness. That was Johnny Million and Hal Sparks' little dinner theater version of Han Solo and Scene.
And scene.
But this is it seems like they're slightly ahead of it. Mostly some out of frustration, some out of just sort of disregard for science, some out of like it's the frontier. The frontier's always been hard. You know, you could beat COVID one day and then you lean over to tie your shoe and scorpions crawl up your backside. This is that kind of an area. So you can see why they would be early adopters of the get out of the pandemic quickly zone. And like I said, lots of old people here because they come here to dry out because the good old tuberculosis epidemic made a herd stampede of old people to desert climates to make sure their lungs don't fill up with goo. So they end up here and they all got vaccinated. They all got very early. You know, they were on the cutting edge. A lot of Arizonans, you know, like a lot of Floridians. So it's a fascinating experience to be going around and going, are we almost there? It feels like we're there. Because I've been double vaccinated. I feel good about there's the new Pfizer drug that just came out, or that they're just talking about that you can take if you
the antiviral,
right? The antiviral early in the infection to stop you, which is an HIV drug that they actually have had for a long time to protect against, you know, somebody who has no immune system or an overactive immune system, compensating immune system, you know, from a smaller infection, you know, a smaller virus killing them, seems to work. It's 98% effective against further hospitalization if taken relatively early in the infection. So that's a great sign, right? And I think they're looking at that information, the high vaccine rate, and they're just moving on. They're moving on with life. And we will know the holidays will be the testing time. And if we do not have a major spike around the holidays or a variant that throws a monkey wrench in the whole thing, you can look forward to more than likely by February, of masking restrictions or the elimination of them entirely, which is such a nice thing to look forward to. And talking about things that are nice to look forward to, there was a big bill that passed last night. I'm not sure.
Oh my goodness.
Wonky time. We got to take a break. We will be back right after this. I pushed the brakes. I pushed the brakes. Or late coming in because there was technical difficulties and stuff. It's crazy. So we'll be back right after this. It's the Hal Sparks Radio program, Megaworldwide on WCPT Radio, Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT820.com, 820.com. Well, there we go. Off and running. Now, there is a delay, for whatever reason, on your Skypeage. And hold on, I think I know what it is.
Plugged in all the way.
You what? You weren't plugged in all the way?
No, it sounds, when you're coming to me, it sounds like there's an 1/8" plug not plugged in all the way.
Okay, that's entirely possible.
Hey, Hal?
Yes.
You still sound pretty bad. Can we try disconnecting and reconnecting and see if that helps us here?
Yeah.
Since we have the break.
I think it's a tech issue on this side. I'm going to unplug some stuff and replug it and see if that helps.
Okay, check the connections then. Yeah.
Check. Now it looks all hot again.
Still sound pretty staticky here.
Yeah, hold on one second. Fixing.
It's even worse.
I'm sorry. Shut up.
It's all good.
Dog. It's god awful. I don't know what it is. All right, here we go. They're bringing this down, and then this. Yeah. So very strange. Okay, do you check. Like everything's like. If I turn that is that better? And that is it better at all?
That's still pretty bad. It's better than what we had, but still pretty bad.
That's super helpful.
You were like, pretty much you were bad. You were like, pretty much you were bad. Then you were like, I couldn't even understand you, and now you're back to just being bad. Does that help? Still really staticky and muffled.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the issue could. All right, so this is so. I love having to fix these things on the fly. How about that? Is that better? I'm very quiet. Is that better?
All right, we got 30 seconds, Hal. We're going to come back, and we'll just make this work again.
Can you hear me? Check. Can you hear me? Check. I don't know if you could even. Oh, I'm super low now. That's all right. Well, that's way better at least. All right. My volume up a little bit, and then a little bit.
Hal, hello?
I'm here. Check. Can you hear me?
You're very quiet now, but
Clearer, I hope.
now Johnny's staticky too.
Oh, for God darn. What in the world is going on? I've got gremlins. That's the only possible answer. You can hear me though, Chicago? You good?
It's the cinema rubbing off on you, according to our management now.
It totally is. It absolutely is.
10 seconds. Well, we'll make this work here, then we'll see what we can figure it out later on.
All right. Do I still sound staticky or
Yeah.
staticky or? Damn it.
Yes, but it's the best we can do right now.
It's time! It's time! Guess who's back? Back again.
Hal Sparks.
Right.
Tell a friend.
You want to get sued?
So yeah, Hal Sparks is back, y'all.
I'm Art,
I'm Bobby.
the host
of
Where Are They Now? Now let's get back to the Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide.
Hey, listen.
Here we are. Now I'm sorry if hopefully the audio is improving over time. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Johnny, we've got gremlins jumping all over the place. I apologize if I was unhearable. That's the hard part. Working it out. Just it's here in Arizona. And Johnny, can you check for me so I know you're there? I think you're just a delay. I don't believe you're even there anymore. I'm just alone in the world. This is how it works.
Oh my goodness.
There you are.
I even wore a KISS shirt for you.
I know, and it's fantastic, and I can see it. It's terrific. And from Creatures, no less, with makeup. So this is obviously the big story is last night. What? You have to say that again, Johnny. I missed you.
The guy who had the bus situation.
The bus situation. So weird. All right, I'm going to source you somehow. It's all crackly and weird, and I'm just driving me crazy. All right, so the big thing, obviously, as we're talking out and about, folks, is the infrastructure bill passed last night. Huge step forward. Obviously the thing that drives everyone mad. And there was much wailing and gnashing of teeth. And there was a lot of stuff coming out of would we see from the perspective of let's beg your pardon, hold on one second. would we see from the perspective of, Democrats across the board, a kind of come together moment, a kumbaya moment, where we would ultimately, everybody could finally agree. Well, we got something passed. There's a movement going on. It's finally happened. Look, let's just take a victory lap. And alas, nay. The response on many fronts was a kind of urinating contest between what are progressives and moderates about a bill that the essentially the progressives held hostage with the belief that they could get the reconciliation bill, a guaranteed vote on this, and then without holding it hostage, it would mean that moderates, conservatives in the party, and others in the party, and by others I mean everyone in the Republican Party, would not allow the bill to move forward, the reconciliation bill, and that if they insisted on this, and great, now I have an echo. Great. I'm just going to tear the whole system down in between. It's just going to drive me crazy. So over the course of last night, what ultimately happened was the squad voted against it. They voted no. 13 Republicans joined the Democrats to put the bill over the top, so that it passed and went to Biden's desk. So that it passed and went to Biden's. It is now law. It is now everything that is in it, including the much heralded $50 billion to seed an infrastructure bank, is on its way. It is in its way. It is the absolute. This is something, by the way, if you'll recall, and I don't know if this qualifies if Infrastructure Week ended finally, began finally. Because it's been Infrastructure Week for a while. And so now that it happens, does that mean, because Infrastructure Week to me was always, are they going to pass it? Can they pass it? What's the over-under in Congress about an infrastructure bill passing, and the negotiation, the sausage making. Infrastructure Week was, let's push infrastructure. Let's use the bully pulpit. Let's use legislative leverage. Let's get something up there. And so that would be Infrastructure Week. Come on, guys. We're going to talk about all the projects we need, all the failing bridges, all the broken roads, the idea of broadband, all these kind of things. Well, it's Infrastructure Week. We're going to set some time aside. In my estimation, what ultimately has happened is Infrastructure Week has ended. We don't have to discuss it and argue about that part anymore because the ball is rolling. Everything is, I mean, there was also, and I know this is a huge surprise to anyone but my regular listeners, there was a huge amount of infrastructure in the American Rescue Plan. Because to get the economy back rolling again, they put in a lot of provisions that were based on the idea that we would get, those shovel-ready projects you heard about during the Obama years when they were talking about stuff for the recovery. Similar plan. It worked last time. It will work again. When you need to get people back to work, when you need to start doing these things, then infrastructure is a great way to do it. It's a guaranteed investment. It's not just, the old, communist trope of pay one guy to dig a hole and pay another guy to fill it. Which is how the Republicans, by the way, view most infrastructure spending. It was genuinely a thing where you fix a bridge, and Biden made a great case about this using the example of this New Jersey bridge, which has to be raised and lowered every time a boat goes under it, and they just need to build the bridge a little higher, and the bridge a little higher to go into that area can just go under the bridge without ever having to open and close it again, and the train doesn't have to be fixed. Well, when you change that bridge, you don't just change the bridge. You got to ramp up the ground to that height over a period of miles, there's all sorts of safety and zoning and blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of work that goes into it. A lot of, so that the train doesn't fall off the tracks and land on said boat. And so up till now, whenever they would lower the bridge. Sometimes it would go down. Sometimes it would go down. And somebody would have to walk out with a sledgehammer that probably has a nickname and a lot of tape on it that's hanging on a wall with with like a picture of Large Marge from Pee Wee Herman's, Adventure or something like that, because that's how those kind of things work. Have you ever been? If you ever worked a job like that, or you had a booth where there was a constant recurring mechanical problem? Somebody has a hammer named Bertha or Gary or Theodore or whatever. Go grab Theodore or whatever. Go grab Theodore hammer and you give it a whack with Theodore, and that's the gag, right? And it's got a smiley face painted on it like Wilson, the volleyball in Castaway. And whenever that would happen, that would slow down the train. Well, everybody on that train is going to a job. The train is going to a job by an hour. And the lost productivity is measurable. Well, now they can fix that. And that lost productivity every year is exponential. It stacks on stacks on stacks. The missed work that led to more missed work, that led to more missed work, that led to more missed work, to slower progress, to slower production. That goes away. So, and that's just one bridge. Now imagine, broadband across the nation. I mean, there's so much good to this. We got to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide, on WCPT Radio, Chicago's Progressive Talk. I am going to restart.
All right, Hal, we're going to disconnect and try reconnecting, see if that helps, okay?
Me too. I'm going to restart my computer. So give me a second. I might need a little extra time. Here we go. All right. And chat room and everybody, bye. I'll pop back on.